Somebody tell the law, I got 100 more. If the blood pours, I got 100 more. Even my demigoddess riding for the cause, and she wop, boy, you niggas wop.
This is the God Owl Podcast. You are now rocking with DEMEGOD, the big homie's big homie. It's a pleasure to be back. It's been a while. We're back in the studio. Second part of this segment, we're going to be outside of the studio. But today, I got a Moor in the building, very talented Moor. He's an artist. Introduce yourself, Moor.
Yeah, what's going on? What's going on? My name is Frederick EL. So I hail from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Peace to the Philly Moors.
Right? I domicile in southwestern New Jersey, down the shore. All right, but my family's a Philadelphia family, and yeah, we here. You know what I mean? So
that's a fact. That's a fact. So I know you've been doing music for a minute. Give us a background on your music experience.
Yeah. So basically, I like recording. I like doing music that's primarily conscious. I like talking about things in the music that's not widely known, I guess. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Traveling down the path that's less traveled. I record at a place where not many people go to record. You see what I'm saying? It's like a home studio. And just knowledge of self, just consciousness. With the music, I like doing a lot of sampling. I like soulful beats that come with samples already if I'm not adding a sample. So just you
like soulful music. So
yeah.
How long you been doing music though? When did you first decide to pick up and say, yo, I'm gonna do music?
Truly. So I first started doing music when I was in high school. When I was in high school, I was in a group that was called Scrolls. And this was like, this was a long time ago. This is every bit of like 1996, 1997. I was like 16, 17 years old. So I was in a group called Scrolls. We had we didn't have a contract, but we had recorded demos with a record label called Bootleg Records that was out of High Nella, New Jersey. Which is
Bootleg Records.
Bootleg Records. The name says it all, right? The culture's in the language. But it was out of High Nella, New Jersey. So we recorded demos with Bootleg Records. That was the first time I had actually been into a studio. And from there, ever since then, I've been recording. So yep.
That's dope. So you got a project. You got a couple projects out on. How many projects you have out right now?
So I have 3 projects up on iTunes and all of the rest of the streaming platforms.
That's dope.
But only 2 of them is on vinyl. So
okay, so the movement is definitely the Moorish science movement.
Facts.
And the agenda is to teach and reach every person on the street and every person that'll listen. So I definitely relate. And when you wanted to come up to the show, I felt honored that you wanted to come to my show and give my people that's listening and following me a little taste of what you bringing. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm always talking about, I fairly deal with a lot of sleepy Moors. So I don't have a lot of brothers from the temple around me when I'm in the streets advocating. From time to time they come around. It used to be Moors there, but then they relocated to South Jersey. So when I'm in the street advocating, I'm always talking about the Moors and all that. And, we doing music, we doing this, they doing that. You're like, where the Moors at? So it was a blessing to have you come up and say, yeah, it's artists out here. We Moors, we know who we are, and we definitely pushing the movement in the artistry of what we doing. So I respect that. But let the people know where they can find your music online. Let's start with your first project.
So my first project is actually titled Elodial. And I actually recorded those songs in 2013. That's when I was domiciling down in Houston, Texas.
Wow.
And I recorded those songs at a famous studio down there called The Vault.
The Vault.
Yeah, The Vault.
I think I heard
recording.
of that. The big homie Scarface. I got a song with Scarface on the bass soundtrack. That's like my big homie.
All right.
Mad love, mad respect to Scarface, Brad Jordan, Face Mob, you already know. And I think I heard of the vault through them channels.
Yeah, more than likely, yeah,
That's a
because BG recorded there, other members of the Hot Boys. So I had recorded the album there, but rough. Like I didn't do a mix and master and all that, but I recorded the vocals there. So I had been holding on to those songs from 2013 until like 2019. So then when I relocated back up this way, I finally went and got them polished up, and I just threw them out there.
That's dope.
You know, but that project sounds kind of rough because of how it was done. But that was the first project that I actually recorded as far as me doing a whole project and not doing a demo, a song here, but that's my first whole project since I
ever been
an
that's
artist.
how it goes though. It's you get professional through trial and error. It was your first project. I'm sure, you know what I'm saying, you learned a lot in that experience that prepared you for the second joint. The second time around, you was already prepared. You already know what you wanted to do, how you wanted to do it. You made all the mistakes that you made in the first one. So it's just a process.
Facts.
So you said Elodial?
Yeah.
That's dope.
Name
That's
of
a
the
dope
first one is
name. What's the
Elodial.
name and what's the meaning behind that title?
Yeah, so the term allodial just means no feudal overlord. So allodial is the opposite of feudal.
Okay.
You know, so feudal or like feudalism just means that there's like a landlord or like an overseer. Allodial means that you're the owner, free and clear, so to speak. Right. So that's why I just threw that out there.
That's dope.
So yeah.
That's a dope name. And then the second project now.
So the second project is actually called Jewel of the West Nile.
Oh, that's dope.
So I called it that because we're in the West. I feel like our people are the jewels of the West.
Yeah.
So
And we got a Nile River over here. That a lot of people don't understand that. A lot of people don't know that science that the Nile River is actually connected to Mississippi River.
There you go. The Mississippi.
Saying when the land masses was connected, those pieces was connected. You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
It's the same life force.
There you go.
Fact.
Yeah. So I just called it that. Just trying to be a little bit more philosophical, you know, than the average, and just to try to spread some awareness. You see what I'm saying? Because we know a lot that's out there is low vibrational.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying, so to speak. So I just try to give them something different to look at. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
That's dope. What's the name of the second project?
The second one is Jewel of the West Nile.
Jewel of the West Nile. 7
songs deep. The first one has 9.
That's dope. That's dope.
Yeah.
So the 9 is like more of a LP.
Yeah. Well, I think a LP
anywhere from 9
5
to
or
16
more, or something like that. I don't know.
9 to 16.
9 to 16. I got you.
Because EP could be.
I'm sorry,
anywhere
LP.
From,
you got it right.
EP could be anywhere from 6 songs.
Right.
To 8 songs, like you said, 5 songs to 8 songs. You know what I mean?
That's what I meant to say.
Dope.
That an EP is less than 9 or whatever. So yeah.
So what is any features on these projects? Did you feature any other artists?
No.
Or it's all you?
It's all me.
That's dope. That's dope. And a lot of people can't do that. A lot of people make projects and they need to feature people because they're not artistically in depth.
Gotcha.
Their pens are not in depth. They can't write. You know what I'm saying? So they try to substitute for that.
It could be overwhelming doing the whole joint by yourself.
Of course. But as artists, you know what I'm saying? That's what we live for and strive for, to try to overcome those obstacles when it comes to putting out a nice project. Because when the project is done, and you actually, I don't care how your project sounds, I don't care how it looks. You feel what I'm saying? When a person creates something, it's their baby.
Facts.
So it doesn't even really matter what nobody else think at that point.
Right.
At that point, you came and you've accomplished your goal of saying, yo, I put a solid project together. Right. I could look at the project. I could put the project out.
Right.
I could go listen to the project. I could send it out to my friends and family and tell them to check in.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the beauty of being an artist all around the board. It ain't about the fame and the money and all that, you know what I'm saying? Because that's gonna come regardless.
Truly.
You know what I'm saying? And everybody's fame
is
different for everybody, you know what I'm saying? It's not the same thing.
Yes.
my success is not your success. You know what I'm saying?
Truly, truly. Yeah.
So, that's dope. And the third project, you was telling me that that's what the vinyl, you got a vinyl on the third project?
Yes, I have a vinyl of the second and the third project.
Okay, let's see the vinyl of the second joint, since that's what we was talking about first.
All right, so this is the vinyl
That's fire.
of the second project.
Fire, more. That's fire. Yeah. I like that. That's dope. I like the way the colors pop.
Honors.
The red pops off the white. You feel what I'm saying? That's dope.
Honors.
You got the fez and you blinging. That's what we need. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, truly.
You know what I'm saying? So this is like a combination of the nigga kingdom and the conscious kingdom. You feel me? Nah, that's a fact.
Yeah.
Off of just the eye, because the chain, you know what I'm saying, the kid's going to look at that first.
Of course.
And then I'm going to look at the fez first.
You got to relate to them
Now you
somehow,
getting-
some way.
Exactly. So now you snatching both sides of the spectrum. But yeah, y'all, that's doing fire. Look at that. That's the back. That's the front. 7 songs: Son of a Man, Starlight, Insomny, Insomny.
Mm-hmm.
With the interpolation of a lecture given by Taj Tariq Bey.
Yeah.
Shout out to Taj Tariq Bey, the elder. That's a
Yeah,
fact.
so I sampled him.
Solar Facts, Vainglorious, Live and Let Die, Hair Apparent.
Yeah.
Hair Apparent.
Mm-hmm.
That's dope, bro. So they can find this on iTunes.
Yeah, so they can find that on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Music, etc. You know what I mean?
That's dope. That's dope. And the second joint.
Oh yeah, so this is the third project, but this is the second one that I have on vinyl, and that's called Occultus Solus Invictus.
This is
So I was actually going to call that project Daystar, but Tory Lanez took that name, so
okay.
I couldn't.
So what's the science behind the name?
So
Break the name down for the people.
yeah, truly. So Occultus is Latin. It means hidden, and Solus means sun. Solus as in solar.
Oh, that's dope.
Occultus as in occult, and Invictus is Latin for invincible. So the name is just saying that the hidden sun is invincible, the hidden soul. And soul in Spanish is sun.
It's sun.
Solus is Latin for sun, but soul is also the inner you. So it's just saying that the inner you is eternal. It's
You
invincible.
hear that, people?
It can't be created or destroyed.
He teaching just when speaking. The Moors be teaching just when speaking. So soul means sun.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That inner
In
light.
Latin. Inner light. You feel me? So that's dope. That's dope. That name is powerful. That name is powerful. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So then I wanted to then I had a superimposed image of myself,
On
in
the
sun.
front.
Yeah. So and then we know that the sun is the center of our existence, the center of our solar system, the center of our being. Because if that sun ceased to be, then we cease to be.
He ceased to be.
Right.
Exactly.
So
That name is powerful. I think that our people, as soon as they hear cult, they be ready to run.
yeah, they get spooky, man. They get spooked out.
And they start believing in all these boogeymen and all that.
Yeah.
But the occult is actually our original science. It's
Truly.
actually science. It's spiritual science.
Truly.
So there's nothing wrong with the occult. You know what I mean? It's just that they
right.
choose not to. They choose not to teach the general public these things, because I kind of understand on one side, and on the other side, I don't understand. Right. I think that there'll always be freedom fighters, but I understand that they don't want it to get in the wrong hands.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the cult is very powerful. And
It can be.
And people could hurt other people, but more so
They could
people
hurt themselves. Facts.
Dealing with that science. You feel what I'm saying? So
I think what happens is I think that a lot of terms have been given a negative connotation by the church.
Exactly.
See what I'm saying? Like by the Roman Catholic Church. Like we'll take the term we'll take the term Illuminati, for example, right? So that just means illume, or loom just means light. So to illuminate just means to light up.
That's
so
a fact.
right. So Illuminati just means those who have light, or
That's
those
it.
who are the light bearers. I mean, but we know that the church, during their whole existence, they put the negative connotations to it. So this is why you have all these meanings that are what can be considered stepchild meanings of the term, like Illuminati, people associated with devil worship. But it doesn't mean that.
It doesn't mean
You know what I mean? So it's the same thing as what we're talking about, occult, right?
As far as I'm concerned, you know what I'm saying, we all know that the jinn exists, but the actual character of Satan, this character is the character doesn't exist. The energy exists,
And they made it up, facts.
but the character doesn't exist. And when they talk about the Illuminati and the Baphomet, I try to tell people all the time, the Baphomet, the goat head, it represents the divine feminine. You know what I'm saying? And the body, which is male, represents the Moors.
There you go.
They're venerating the people who taught them the science. You know what I'm saying? During the Dark Ages, when the bubonic plague was killing them and they couldn't read
Facts.
and write, we had to civilize them. So we came up and we civilized them by giving them a piece of the light. So that
right.
piece of the light is what they claim in Masonic temples.
I was just about to say that.
The
That's how they
33
got
and
masonry.
1/3. That's that little piece of the light. But if you got 360 degrees in a pizza pie, you got a perfect pizza pie circle, and your highest only go to 33 and 1/3.
That's only 10% of
Exactly. So you know the
so-
guards got 120. You feel what I'm saying?
Facts.
And there's science out there. So it's all about getting all 360. You know what
Facts.
I mean? And understanding that everybody has a piece of the truth.
Facts.
That's a fact.
Yeah, but it's the church, but it's the rule of the Roman Catholic Church. When they was in power, they're the ones who started saying, like, oh, he's an Illuminatus. Like, this is what they called those who dealt with disciplines, you know, like law and astrology, astronomy. You know, like these are the ones, like what they did to Galileo. Galileo came and told them that the planet Earth wasn't the center of the solar system. It was the sun. They told Galileo, if you keep teaching that, you know, we're going to lock you away in the dungeon for eternity.
That's a fact.
You know what I mean? So that's just one example. But this is where these terms get these negative connotations from.
And it's
You know what I mean?
it's just funny how most of them coming from the Roman Catholic Church. I'm just
They was
putting
taught
that
by the
out
Moors,
there.
by the way. True.
Yeah,
true, so.
I'm just putting that out there though. Everything was strategic and war bent.
Right.
I want to get back on the music scene though, because you know, we as Moors, we using the music platform to speak to the people who listen to that genre of music, and I think that it's important that we continue on pushing the Moorish science. You know what I'm saying? Putting the fez in the music videos.
Truly.
Putting the fez in your photographs and speaking on the sciences and the music. And a lot of people listen to my music, and my music can be depicted both ways. I really don't care because I love making music and I'm just expressing myself. So, you know, they be like, how could a Moor talk like that? Yeah, the Moor's talking like that because all Moors ain't the same.
They say it to me too. They say it to me too.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm a monster. So, I used to be a monster. So I'm in between the God kingdom and the nigga kingdom. So I choose to stay there. I'm not there because I'm stuck.
I got you.
I can go in and out. You know what I'm saying? I could float about as I will. You know what I mean?
Truly.
So I think it's important for us to do that though, for us to be able to relate to them. And I commend you on that, you know what I'm saying? As far as hip hop, what would you like to see as far as like more in the hip hop genre, as far as conscious artists is concerned?
Very good question. What I would like to see actually is those who are in power, right? Those who are decision makers for big corporate entities. I would like them to
Have a conscious.
to be more diverse. You know what I mean? Because we need diversity in the music. Every artist that come out can't be Jail King and, you know, I got shot 5 times and telling these children that it's okay to go to jail.
Facts, like,
you know, telling them that you know, that if you're intelligent, you know, if you're family oriented, you're a square. You know, so we just need more diversity, I think.
yeah, that's a fact.
And I don't think that they're really letting that through because these artists are out here. So that's something that I would like to see that's different. And I also would like to see them promote more things that are uplifting as far as the community is concerned. You know what I'm saying? Promote being a family-oriented person. You know what I'm saying? It's not wrong with being a husband. You know, take unto thyself a wife. Become a faithful member of society. Become an upstanding member of society.
That's something to live for. Strive for.
You know what I'm saying? You know, it's not corny to have an education. You know what I mean? Like, you're not a square if you further your education past high school and things of that sort. So I think the game has gotten away from that because we can go back to the 80s with artists, you know, where artists had names like Queen Latifah. Look how powerful that is. Arrested Development. Poor Righteous Teachers. And so forth and so on. So we've just gotten away from that.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was the black fists and the medallions and the whole
Fight the power.
which is about righteousness. Yeah, fight the power. So I would like to see more of that.
Yeah.
You know, like, you got to balance the scale. You can't have all gang members, so to speak, and not trying to throw them under the bus, but you got to balance the scale.
Yeah. Nah, I think that if they listening, they should take heed. If they listening to this podcast, which I'm sure, because they always got handlers listening, and I know I'm on the list. You know what I'm saying? I'm a target. I don't mind being a target, though. I love it. You know what I'm saying? But if they listening, they would take heed, because what happens is it's gonna implode. You understand?
Yes.
When you don't have balance, eventually it's gonna implode. You know what I mean? And things will get worse than what we really expecting them to get. Even though the Jews who run the record companies, they sit up in them big seats and them tall towers, and they sit up in the hills in the suburbs and they big houses and all that. But they could be touched. You feel me? So when you creating monsters, these gremlins will be in your kitchen, like Big has said. They be sitting in your kitchen.
Facts, man. You speaking facts.
You know what I'm saying?
And it's deep that you mentioned some of who the movers and shakers are, because a few days ago I was just watching a Julie Greenwald interview. Wow. So, right. Say no more. But
yeah, exactly. Greenwald,
right.
Yeah. And you know, it's funny. They the ones who basically run the court system.
Truly.
They basically run the court system. It's like the Europeans have come together and they said, okay, we're going to hand this over to the fake Jews.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Truly.
Because they not really real Jews. They wish they was Jews. That's why they call themselves Jewish. And I ain't, and I'm not Nick Cannon, so you can't cancel me. You know what I'm saying? You could probably mess with my YouTube channel and all that, but it is what it is. The truth is the truth. You know what I'm saying? You only got two things in this world that's real, and that's lies and truth.
That's right.
And it's what side you on.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Truth and falsehood. But let me say this about that, because I'm glad that you touched on that. They have a tendency to say that they're Jew as far as their nationality and their national origin is concerned. No. These people are of Polish descent, German, Russian. Some of them are from Lithuania, and these are the people that were Jewish as far as religious practice was concerned. But obviously,
they're not Hebrews.
They were oppressed by Nazism, right? Nazis, as in the National Socialist German Workers' Party, not Nazi as in these neo guys that want to be
running around
America.
No,
not them. These were socialist guys who oppressed them because of their beliefs. But from a national origin perspective, it's nothing Hebrew truly about them. Like, these people are of European descent. But they'll tell you that they're Jew before they'll tell you that they're German or Lithuanian or Polish, etc. And then we know that they have a country now over in what was formerly all Palestine called Israel.
Our brothers.
So they'll say that
Palestine
they're
brothers.
Israeli, but depending on who you talk to, you would have a dispute about that. And let me point this out. You do have practicing Eastern European Jews who call the people in Israel Zionists and don't even refer to them
as
Jews, right?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So it's levels to it.
It's levels to it. It's levels to the ignorance.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? It's levels to the
man.
ignorance. And you got to peel back the pieces.
Facts.
I want to talk about what we was just talking about the history of George Washington. I was talking about how the Mohegans, the story of the Mohegans. I was watching a documentary about the Mohegans and how on 233rd and on 233rd Street in the Bronx, 233rd Park, they have a park and they have a monument to the Mohegans who were slaughtered by the British. So the story is just ill. They say George Washington never tells a lie, but he was a liar.
Oh, yeah.
He was a scoundrel. You know what I'm saying? He was the head of human trafficking. He owned the most slaves. You know what I'm saying? He had slaves' teeth in his mouth. Just posted something on my page about him having slave teeth in his mouth.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, taking his slaves' teeth out so he can have teeth and put it in his mouth. So George Washington wasn't a good person. That's just plain out simple.
Yeah, facts.
So what happened to the Mohegans, these brothers were of Moorish descent. They're not Indians. I don't want to keep saying Indians. There's no such thing as Indians, man. Indians come from India. These were Moors from the tribe of the Mohegan tribe, and they was Americans. They was Native Americans, Moors. But anyway, they helped George Washington and them fight the American Revolution against the British. And George Washington had basically promised to give them their land back if they helped them fight, and they won. Well, when the war ended, George Washington didn't win. They never beat the Queen. They struck a deal with the Queen. But in the history books, they'll say they won. They'll make it seem like they won the American Revolution and won their independence. They never won their independence. That's a lie. But anyway, when they struck the deal with the Queen, they didn't tell the Mohegans that they struck the deal with the Queen and that the war was over. So what they did was the Mohegans found out on their own that the war was over and sent George Washington a telegram and said, okay, since the war is over, we're going to be on our way back to Virginia and we're going to negotiate the means to get our land back. George Washington sent them a letter saying, I can't give you your land back. It's too valuable. So he lied to them. And not only did he do that, but he sent another kite behind their back to the British and told the British, I give you these guys. He sacrificed them to the British and told the British to murder them, and that's what the British did. Wow. The British cornered them in the Bronx on 233rd, right in that park, 233rd Park. You see the monument, and slaughtered them in that park and buried their bodies in a hole.
That's heavy.
And those bodies have never been excavated in their families or nobody ever, you know what I'm saying? So what they did was, of course, they built a monument over in the park, over where the body's supposed to be buried. But that science is powerful. So you got the Mohegan Sun Casino. You got Foxwood and you got the Mohegan Sun Casino. So I guess the people, the $2 Indians, the Caucasian fake falsehood, fake blood Indians that run these casinos, you know what I'm saying, these pale-faced people who run these casinos and basically keep on the lies that they perpetuate about Indians being long-haired and not looking like Moors, not looking like Africans from West Africa who came here 100,000, 200,000, 250,000 years before Christopher Columbus, who was a Moor, who was a scoundrel Moor.
Yeah, that's facts. The true original inhabitant of the Americas was of the African phenotype. And I can't remember the work that this is in, but it's talking about the Gullah Geechee. This was, I don't remember the work. The name of it escapes me at the moment, but this was.
I remember that word, Gullah.
But this was they was having some kind of hearings on Washington. I forget the name of the committee, but this is documented in a government publication. And they're discussing the fact that the Gullah Geechee, that they're calling Africans, but they're not saying Africans as in Africans that was trafficked. They're saying African as in African phenotype. And the way that I know that is because they're saying that these people have been on these lands off the coast of South Carolina for thousands of years.
Wow.
You know, so that just coincides with what you were saying, was that the African phenotype is the true indigenous inhabitant.
That's
now, you did have people come from across the Bering Strait down into the Americas from Asia, but they came later on. So.
That's a fact. And those people are in basically, those people are in conflict.
They're federally recognized.
With those people who came from the Bering Strait are in conflict with the original Navajo.
Facts.
The original Navajo do not accept them. They're not, because they're not American natives. They came from the Bering Strait and mixed in the blood with the Navajo.
Got you.
I posted something on my TikTok about that. You know what I'm saying? One of the Navajo was explaining that these people are imposters, and they came and they basically corrupted and basically gave the Europeans, they basically went with the Europeans and were, like some of the Cherokee. Some of the Cherokee did some foul stuff and sold their people out for the Europeans and took their feathers off and took their garbs and fezzes off and put on European clothes and started to learn English and the Bible and all of that and wanted to convert just to fit in what we do today. You know what I'm saying? So
man.
That's powerful. But what you were saying about Brooklyn, let's end this segment off with what you were saying about Brooklyn and the Canarsie Native Americans.
Yeah, true indeed. So there's a section of Brooklyn that's called Canarsie, which is named after the Canarsie natives who the Dutch built the wall to separate their trading posts, which was around the financial district in Wall Street, from the Canarsie natives. And Wall Street today is where the location of the wall was. And then they used slave labor
to build the wall,
and the Canarsie natives themselves. So, and then when you look at depictions of the Canarsie so-called Indians, because we know India is in the east, but see, when Columbus and them sailed here and reached the Americas, they thought they reached India, so they called the people Indians.
Exactly.
But then when they found out that it wasn't India, they started calling it India of the West, or the West Indies. And this is why our people from the Caribbean say they're West Indian. But if you ask them why,
they don't know why. But that's why.
Right. So, but back to what I was saying, if you look at illustrations of the Canarsies, they're as dark as the three of us. So the African phenotype's been here. And all other groups that claim the title, they've been grandfathered in, or they're our stepchildren, so to speak.
Exactly.
Yeah, so.
The Mexicans, Dominicans, Puerto Ricans. Right, so. You know what I'm saying? Right. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. We all connected. But man, I really appreciate you coming through.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Let the people know. Give your social media handles and all that so everybody can follow you.
Yeah, true indeed. So my Facebook is Frederick Jones EL. So Frederick, FredErick, Jones, JONES, EL. So Frederick space Jones space EL space. And so my Instagram is Moorish. So MOORISH _ ADEPT, ADEPT. Boom.
That's dope.
So yeah.
So what you got new projects coming, right?
Yeah. So I have a new project that I just finished recording. It's called Aristocracy.
Dope.
And it's 9 songs deep. I just recorded that. And then I also recorded another. Well, I'm in the process of recording another project that's called the Jonesville Dynasty. And it's just more of.
I got to get on a project with you. We got to do something.
We got to do something,
so
man.
That's a fact. I look forward to working with you. We're going to represent the movement. Yeah. I appreciate you coming through.
Honors. I appreciate you, dear brother.
Islam. That's a fact, Moor. So, yeah, y'all, we already know what it is. It's the God Owl Podcast. It's DEMEGOD, the big homie's big homie. The new website is up. Make sure you check it out. DEMEGOD Official / The Matrix Design. You heard? New book is out. Make sure you check that book. If God Could Rap, it's on Amazon right now. So make sure you check that joint out. We be back with the next segment.
It's the God Hour Podcast. You're now tuning in with the big homies, big homie DEMEGOD. Sitting here with BBS, Big Boss Status.
Big Boss Status.
Owner of DigiPrint, you know what I'm saying?
I'm not the owner of DigiPrint. I'm the founder.
The founder, exactly.
I don't own it anymore, for the record. I don't own it anymore. I'm just the founder. I'm still the CEO. I help manage the day-to-day operations and all that, but I am not the owner.
That's dope. That's dope. So tell us a little about what's going on now with DigiPrint.
DigiPrint is about to have a whole transformation. Like, in the business that we in the marketing field that we in, we realize that, you know, it's one thing to be able to help people and service people with different things like that, but we want to leave a mark on the world that lasts for generations to come. And that means being able to be a staple in the community first. So my ultimate goal right now is to be like the new food rendezvous of my neighborhood, which is where people, celebrities, and important people of business and just people in general that have influence are coming to my hometown, to my store, just to, whether it's to buy something, to just, you know, see us, or to just see the experience that they have at our location.
So basically, you're creating an experience inside of the location. It's going to be more of an ambiance.
Yeah. Like, as far as the location, yes, we're about to revamp the whole location and change the location. Not into just an ambiance. It's going to be more of a futuristic marketing place where you can see different things that you can use for your business that can step your business up by visual that we provide, but it'll be in our shop so people can come and see and say, oh, that's dope. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about the experience right now. So we know our service is great. We can definitely provide services that hundreds of clients definitely appreciate, but now we just want to step it up to a level where people like, it's the wow factor, like, yo, what is that? I want that.
So, what's the address to your location?
Our actual location, we're located at 30 East 1st Street in Mount Vernon, New York. That's 30 East 1st Street in Mount Vernon, New York, directly across the street from the
Alright, y'all heard that? Stay tuned, you heard? Tuning into the God Out Podcast. You're rocking with the big homies, big homie DEMEGOD. We right here live and direct in Wilson Woods Park. We got Silv Tha Don, the hood legend. 914 stand up. Mount Vernon in the building. This is one of my partners and one of my favorite artists coming out of my town. You know what I'm saying? Silv Tha Don, glad to have you here. You know what I'm saying?
We here. Just relaxing, man. Wilson Wood Park right now.
That's a fact.
Man, having something for his brother that passed. Blessings on that.
That's a fact.
Chilling.
That's a fact.
So, man, DEMEGOD is
In the building. My son Bars is crazy. If you haven't heard his bars, you need to tune into his website. What's the website?
www.silvthadon.com.
You heard that? Silvthadon.com.
Google me, Silv Tha Don, man. Everything pop up. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, everything.
That's a fact. That's a fact. You got some features too. You got some highlight features too. You got songs.
I got joints with Styles P, with Jadakiss, Case, Brother Godson, Pete Rock, the Heat Makers.
Pete Rock, shout out to Pete Rock.
Spunk Bigger, my nigga.
Spunk Bigger, all hometown.
Yeah. I put a bunch of big name niggas.
That's a fact. That's a fact. I like the joint with you and Styles P. That joint was fire.
That shit hard.
That shit hard.
Pete Rock produced that one.
That's a fact.
That shit hard.
Not to mention, we got mad joints together. You probably heard wild joints from me. If you follow me, you know what I'm saying, on my Reverb. You know what I'm saying? I got mad joints with Silv Tha Don. We've been doing joints forever. We actually brothers, UTLM, all my UTLM
Nah,
fans.
but niggas don't even know, like, they just started rapping together. I think that's what I was going for my first rap.
That's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact.
We did that shit together, man, from way back then.
Doug Block, 33rd days, you heard? That's the time when we was running around little rascals and all that, beefing with Young Guns and all that. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace to Heavy D. He had his team Young Guns and all that.
And that's when we had our little rap wars in Mount Vernon and all that. Those was the days though, you heard? But we definitely wanna put the highlight on what Silv is doing today. You know what I'm saying? Silv got a clothing line called Blacknificent. Shit is fire.
Yes, sir. I gotta get it cool with that. Follow me on Instagram too, Blacknificent by Silv. Follow that right there, Blacknificent by Silv. We got a bunch of stuff on there. You get to see what I got. Hit me up. Get the finishes going.
Yeah, I gotta give you
A fan said, how do you spell Silv Tha Don, the website?
It's SILVTHADON.
Fire.
That's how you spell it for everything too. Google.
So what type of apparels do y'all basically specialize in?
A lot of sweatsuits and short sets. We got stuff for women too. You know, we got the biker shorts, we got the little short pom-pom shorts, we got the sweatsuits for them also. We got a bunch of stuff for females.
That's
The
fire.
hats,
Yeah, I gotta get you
t-shirts,
some.
everything.
I gotta
Sweatshirts.
So when we talking about just the name, what made you come up with the name Blacknificent?
Of course, the first it was a song I had with CL Smooth. Shout out to CL Smooth. So I gotta
Shout out to CL Smooth.
Yeah, I forgot to mention CL.
Pioneer.
I forgot to mention CL when you asked me about the collaboration. CL, another one. And we got a video for the joint. We ain't put it out yet. CL put that goddamn video out. But real shit, we got, you know what I'm saying? But it was from doing that Magnificent song that we had. And I made a t-shirt and a hat just for that video, you know what I'm saying? So what I did was, after just looking at it, I'm like, I see the song Magnificent. Actually, this guy, shout out to my man from Texas, he said something about the Blacknificent shit. I thought about it the next 2 days and came back with a bunch of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
That's crazy how the concepts just come up like that. You know what I'm saying? Just come up and be like, damn. And then it click in your mind and you like, that's how you know the force is definitely telling you, yeah, that's what I'm running with.
Came up with a bunch of different logos and got popping.
And you also get stuff done out of DigiPrint, one of our sponsors. Yeah, DigiPrint is a sponsor of the God Out podcast.
Yeah, that's where I get a lot of my damn everything done at. Man. Go to DigiPrint and get your shit.
That's a fact.
You fuck with that Blacknificent nigga, you know what I'm saying? That's where I get it from.
That's a fact. The clothes, we do all the marketing for the local artists, websites, business cards, flyers, QR codes.
Shout out to DigiPrint, you heard?
Pins, hats, whatever you want. You know what I'm saying? And Silv made some fire. I've seen some yellow and black shit you did. Shit was fire. You did the yellow and black. You did a couple pieces. You did the red and black.
Yeah.
Red and black is
Black
fire.
and gold.
Black and gold. It's a couple pieces. So make sure y'all go on that website and make sure y'all fuck with the clothes and y'all mess with the music. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Because the music is what's the platform to bring out everything else that we're doing as entrepreneurs.
That started it, basically.
Yeah, that's a fact. So every other business that Silv do, the music is the foundation. You know what I'm saying? Word up. You know what I mean?
Definitely, man. Follow Blacknificent by Silv on Instagram and get your clothes. You heard? It's fire. You ain't gonna regret it once you see it. You ain't gonna regret it.
That merch.
That's all I'm gonna say.
So with new music we got coming, we got singles coming, any new singles we dropping?
Yeah, actually, I got this joint out right now called Project Homage with me from LA from the Hilltop. And we did a joint. Thug Block, Hilltop collaboration. This shit was crazy.
Shout out to Hilltop, Thug Block. That's basically a part of Mount Vernon. That's one of the main strips, main corners
That's
where
two different blocks combined.
yeah, exactly. Thug Block is one block, Hilltop is another block, Mount Vernon, New York. For the listeners that don't know, when we say Hilltop is Thug Block.
Shout out to my nigga El Boogie, man.
El Boogie, what's up, Lord?
Shit crazy too. A lot of them joints on here is retarded.
Oh, y'all got a whole album together?
Yeah.
Oh, they did a whole album?
And look, and we in the streets with it too. So if you see us, we got the flash drive for sale. The album is on the flash drive, man. You pop it in and go. In your Bluetooth, in your house stereo, in your car, phone, anything. Just pop that thing up in there. As long as you got a USB, you rock it. Yeah.
Fire.
Yeah, look, so here's one of them right here, matter of fact.
Fire.
Yeah, last had one, you know what I'm saying, hip hop and shit. So yeah, get that goddamn flash drive.
That's a fact. I need that connect too. I need that connect so I can put my shit on the flash drive. I need to step it up. You know what I'm saying? I got the cane right now. I know y'all wondering why I got the cane. I had a little accident, well, a big accident in Yonkers on the bike and all that. Be careful on them bikes. There's a lot of people getting bikes. I'm about to start a bike business. You know what I'm saying? And be safe on them things. Them things is dangerous if you don't really know what you're doing. So I'm about to start a bike business called Godspeed, where I'm gonna be doing electrical bikes, gas mopeds, basically starting with that. If I want to step it up, I'll step it up to something bigger, you know what I'm saying? Like the spiders, three-wheelers and all that. Other than that, I'm just trying to do small businesses, like small businesses. Sort of like what you do. Clothes, you know, entrepreneurship.
It's always good to start things. Start where you can start and build from there.
That's a fact. You know what I'm saying? As long as we keep business going, you know what I mean? At us as Moors, that's what we're supposed to start doing. Start owning our businesses, start owning our property, start owning our content, owning our music, owning our masters. Like all of that is official. I come up under Londell McMillan, Prince, you know what I'm saying? These is people who, that's their, God bless the dead, the Prince, but Londell is still the face of that movement, you know what I'm saying? If you don't own your masters, your masters
doing some
own
shit
you.
from way back too, man. Like he got shit with Scarface and all that too.
That's a fact, that's
we done put a Dougie Fresh crib because of this nigga.
Many times.
Word up.
Many times.
I remember that. Like this was when they in the loop heavy, dude.
Remember we did the joint with Wild Child?
Yeah, that too. That shit was crazy.
Midtown, we went down to Midtown. Shout out to Wild Child out here from Dallas, Texas and all that. Shout out to Wild Child. That's a fact. Violet. Shout out to Violet. That's a fact. That's a fact. So we got memories and we got a lot of things we're doing and we're just trying to stay constructive. A lot of the little homies that know us that might be watching this podcast over time from around locally, they can see us as entrepreneurs now and just trying to, you know, be constructive building, you know what I'm saying? Niggas is still goonies. That's why I said all Moors ain't the same, you know what I'm saying? All Moors is not playing. But at the same time, you gotta come at some point in your age in your life where you gotta grow up and start thinking about the future and start, you know, being constructive with yourself. So that's all we doing, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. We got a joint together that we got coming out called New York City Love, where we did the California Love joint over.
That shit fire too.
Shit fire.
That shit fire.
Shout out to Dion, my man who's the Moor, he's a Moorish American. He claimed his nationality. Dion, he's originally from America, but he moved to Japan. He did the hook, flew the hook back, sent it back. The hook was fire. We laid the track, joint called New York City Love. California Love being done just for New York City.
Right now we waiting to get it back, man, so we can throw it out for this shit. Gotta put that in there.
That's a fact, because he was.
Send it back to us, man. Let us hear it.
Word up, Greg, man. Shout out to Greg, shout out to Sleepy, shout out to Sleepy, word to mother, because he been holding this track. We paid for the track and all that. I paid for the studio time. You're supposed to have a rough done for us. I ain't get that yet. It's been two going on 3 weeks. But we should have had that real soon, man. I really appreciate you coming, B. You know what I'm saying? Y'all remember those websites. Plug in your website, plug in your social media again.
Right here, we had to do something different. Let me give it to y'all outside, man. Fuck that.
That's a fact. It's the outside flow.
We out here in the world.
That's a fact.
You know what I mean?
Got the live barbecue going on with the peoples. And we here, we just vibing, man. You know what I'm saying? I brought my big bro on. You know what I'm saying? He's one of the late ones, but he's one of the premier ones, you heard? And this is what it is.
Could always go back and check that video to me and Jada kids too, man. Got the video with Frederick Godson also, man. You can look me up on YouTube, Silv Tha Don. Subscribe to my page, watch these videos.
Yeah, rise in peace to Frederick Godson too, B. Word up. That's what it is, B. Yo, we out of here? We out of here. Shout out to DigiPrint, the sponsors, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, shout out to the Moor who came through. Shout out to DEMEGOD Audio, everybody who brought this episode to where it needs to be today. You know what I'm saying?
Make sure you give them all that information again. So give them that website again.
www.silvthadon.com. Follow me, Instagram at Silv Tha Don, Twitter at Silv Tha Don, Facebook at Silv Tha Don, everything at Silv Tha Don.
Oh, we have one more question from the fans. They want to know. They said they heard a soundtrack that you did, and do you do soundtracks? Like, can someone actually pay you to do soundtracks? Do you do paid gigs? Like, is there a way to book you?
No, absolutely. Because go on my Instagram and just DM me. DM me about anything you want to do, any feature inquiries, any walkthrough inquiries, any show inquiries, man. Just hit me up on my Instagram DM. We can definitely make that happen.
So, you know, always tune in to the God Owl podcast. You already know you can follow me, official DEMEGOD. I got the poetry book out. Last episode, I was letting y'all know I was putting the poetry book out, but I never put it out. But now it's out. It's on Amazon. It's called God Can Rap. So y'all run to Amazon. Y'all make sure y'all cop that. Leave a good rating for the brother. Make sure the Moors, you know what I'm saying, rise up on that list. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what it's all about. Rise of the Moors. Rise of the Moorish Americans. We coming for our nationality. We coming for everything they owe. You heard? And make sure you check out that 100 Moors too. The 100 Moors came out Saturday. Make sure y'all check out that 100 Moors. It came out on August 20th, which is a Saturday. By the time this put out, this will be, you know what I'm saying, a little time after. But it's out right now on all platforms, iTunes. We're going to be shooting an official video for the joint. Rise of the Moors. We're going to be bringing the gangs together. It's going to be epic. Chicago, LA, New York. It's going to be epic. So keep it live. That's a fact. Silv Tha Don, God Owl podcast. We out of here, you heard?
Thanks for having me.
Facts. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification button. It helps the algorithms so I can make more videos, and it pushes the video up on the search box. I love bringing the God Owl podcast to y'all, and that's how I know y'all tuning in. Tap in, you heard? 100 Moors, Rise of the Moors, Islam.